Will you and Andrew ever fight the Paul brothers?
So I was asked about this. I'm in good shape now. Could I fight again? Yes.
The Paul brothers are set to face off against the Tate brothers in a highly anticipated showdown, pushing Logan and Jake out of their usual comfort zones for an epic clash.
Andrew, fighter, legitimate, badass mother, strong mentality. Sorry, Tristan Tate is the weak link. bro, come on. Tristan,
I say let's run
he got a bad shoulder. He's shaped like a gingerbread man.
Romania is a flat away. You doing it to
run
him?
it. The PFL will.
I don't want no beef, but that's delusion.
They're probably regretting this already, facing opponents who aren't retired athletes, washed-up celebrities, or random basketball players seeking relevance. This time, it's the real deal.
An MMA fight between Jake Paul, Logan Paul, Tristan Tate, Andrew Tate.
Really, we're talking about Andrew here. Tristan's not really in this equation. That's like the light work. 10 mil for Andrew, 10 mil for Tristan, 10 mil for you, 10 mil for me.
But here's what they'll say.
I don't need this for the money. You're going to have to slap $50 million for me even to get out of bed. But if you have money, then why is it about the money?
What it shouldn't be about the money. It should be solely for entertainment and to figure out who's really about it. And we're telling you, we'll do it.
This time, it's the real deal. Andrew and Tristan Tate. These guys aren't interested in fame, clout, or the usual ego boost that Jake and Logan rely on to hype their fights.
Yeah, the Jake episode's coming too. We still have plenty of meat in that podcast. We have a special message for Andrew Tate.
Jake Paul, I will fight you any day of the fucking week.
So why did the Paul brothers even agree to this? Simple, fake it till you make it. They need to protect that shiny, untouchable image they've spent years selling. Backing out would shout, "We're frauds," louder than any pre-fight trash talk ever could. So guys aren't interested in fame, clout, or the usual ego boost that Jake and Logan rely on to hype their fights.
Logan Paul is a bitch, and I will say that here publicly. If anyone wants, I'll fight him for free. The guy's an idiot.
No money needed to fight Logan Paul.
So here's the twist. Logan's charging in with the emotional intelligence of a YouTube comment section, while Jake's somewhere pretending he didn't hear the bell. It's a mess, but it's their mess now. The whole world is watching as they scramble to spin this into something they can somehow survive.
Him and my brother, maybe, and obviously KSI would die. But people like Jake Paul, I feel like they...
Andrew Tate is no ordinary name in the fighting world, not just a former kickboxing world champion, but a 4-time champion with an incredible 76 wins and only 9 losses. Let that sink in. While most fighters dream of touching greatness once, Andrew lived there. His victories weren't just numbers on a chart. They were displays of sheer dominance, power, and precision. He transformed the art of kicking into a near-poetic spectacle. Every punch, every kick, meticulously calculated, and that's just scratching the surface of what makes him a beast. Now, let's talk about Tristan Tate. He doesn't crave the spotlight as much as his brother, but don't mistake his quiet demeanor for weakness.
Talking about his brother Jake, saying,
Yeah, Jake told me he was going to be the world champion. I just had to cut in and say, Jake, you're never going to be that. You're never going to get there. I remember you being a very average kickboxer, telling me you were going to be the world champion. And what did I say? You are going to be the world champion. You are going to be the world champion. And did you become the world champion? What kind of brothers?
Tristan Tate is the silent killer and observer of the duo. Fewer fights, sure, but each one leaves a massive impact. He's like that sleeper agent in spy movies, calm, composed, and then, bam, you're out cold. People don't talk about Tristan enough, but that might be his greatest weapon. By the time you realize you've underestimated him, you're already face down on the mat. He's not here for flashy speeches. He's here to win, and win hard. And if you think these brothers are in it for the paycheck, think again. Andrew's net worth is estimated at a staggering $700 million, while Tristan is close to $500 million. Let's be real. When you're making that kind of money, punching people for cash isn't the goal. They're stepping into the ring to prove a point.
I don't have anything to prove to people like Logan Paul. I am much older than Logan, of course, and my fight career was very, very good. I won something like 30-something of my 40-something fights. Had some very tough battles, lots and lots of wins, European titles, some losses. Back in the day before Instagram existed, before everything was, was before I was famous, before it gained me clout.
For the Tate brothers, it's about pride, legacy, and a good old-fashioned don't mess with us moment. That's what makes them so terrifying. They don't need this fight, they want it. There's a difference. People fear them not just because of their stats or wealth, but because of the whole package. Their training is next level brutal. These are fighters who treat the gym like a second home and sparring partners like stepping stones. And let's not forget their psychological warfare. It's all part of their dominance.
Does his backflips and takes his steroids and, makes these big shows about fights. I've never said his name until now because he keeps saying my name. And the only reason I could think he's doing it is for viral hits or viral internet clips, but I have nothing to prove to him.
Andrew Tate knows exactly how to get into his opponent's head. He'll insult you, challenge your worth, and have you questioning your entire existence before you even step into the ring. That's the Tate advantage. They beat you mentally before they beat you physically. But in the other corner of this brewing storm are the Paul brothers. Jake Paul, the younger of the two, has surprisingly made a name for himself in the boxing world with a record of 7 wins and just 1 loss. He's no slouch. Knocking out Tyron Woodley and beating Anderson Silva were career-defining moments. Jake's not just some loudmouth from YouTube anymore. He stepped into the ring and delivered. People might not like him, but they can't deny his progress. He's turned skeptics into grudging admirers and, dare I say, a few believers. Logan Paul, on the other hand, has taken a slightly different path. While Jake's been building boxing credibility, Logan's been hopping between WWE stunts and women's high-profile exhibition matches.
He is a talking piece. He is the mouthpiece for the agenda. The people have come along, people who are trying to force a narrative, and they said, look, we need to have some degree of control over the exact demographic that Tate has control over. We're going to use Logan Paul and attempt to use him. And he sits there and just purports the bullshit points of view.
Sure, Logan Paul managed to draw with KSI and went the distance with Floyd Mayweather, but let's be honest, his record isn't exactly inspiring. Still, Logan's charisma and showmanship keep him relevant. The man knows how to sell a fight, even if his punches don't always back it up. Financially, the Paul brothers are no pushovers, with a combined net worth of over $100 million. They're living large, but here's the thing. Money can't buy grit. It can't buy the instinct to fight when your body wants to quit. And that's the big question hanging over the Paul brothers. Do they have the guts to face opponents like the Tates, who are in this for pride, not paychecks? Then there's the attitude. The Paul brothers have built their careers on being cocky, loud, and unapologetically in your face. It's worked for them in the YouTube world and even in boxing to some extent, but against the Tates, that bravado might not hold up. The Tates aren't here to play games. They don't care about flashy entrances or viral moments. They're here to fight, period.
As for Logan, I've never said his name until now because he keeps saying my name.
Tristan Tate is a weakling. He's shaped like a gingerbread man.
He's had, 6 fights, lost them all. I'm known as a fighter in a way that he never will.
Tristan Tate vs. Logan Paul is a fight nobody saw coming, yet it's shaping up to be one of the most intriguing matchups in recent memory. The drama kicked off when Logan, in true Paul brother fashion, couldn't resist running his mouth during a podcast in 2022. Logan casually dismissed Tristan as irrelevant, claiming he didn't have the profile to warrant a fight. If you know anything about the Tates, you know they don't take insults lightly. Tristan didn't just respond with words. He threw down the ultimate challenge, a fight to settle the score. Let's be clear, this isn't a game for him. Tristan isn't showing up for some WWE performance. He's here to make a statement. And that statement is simple. Logan Paul doesn't belong in the ring with him.
2 brothers, 1 cage. Jake, Logan, you, Tristan. Who comes out alive?
You know what? I'm trying so hard to not start internet beefs.
You could say Jake and Logan, man.
Bro,
don't worry about it.
No, I can't lie.
Logan Paul, for all his charisma and media prowess, has a pretty glaring issue. His fight record. Sure, he stepped into the ring with big names like KSI and Floyd Mayweather, but let's not sugarcoat the results. His match against KSI in 2019 ended in a loss, and while he did go the distance with Mayweather in their 2021 exhibition, it wasn't exactly a competitive bout. Logan's biggest strength is selling a fight, not necessarily winning one. That's where Tristan sees his opening. Tristan is methodical, precise, and above all, disciplined. He doesn't rely on flashy moves or hype. He breaks down his opponents piece by piece. Logan's tendency to underperform in real fights could make him an easy target for Tristan's calculated attacks. What's throwing everyone off, however, is the personal nature of this feud. Fans expected the usual trash talk and media circus, but Tristan's focus has been laser sharp. He's not interested in trading verbal jabs or creating viral moments. For Tristan, this fight is about one thing: respect. Logan, with his larger-than-life personality, might not even realize how serious his opponent is. The audience, on the other hand, is left in shock.
It's a lot of talking, and they're fantastic at it. It's why they have a following. They can be magnetic with words, and it draws a lot of people in.
Well, Andrew Tate is was a kickboxing world champion.
Well, was. Mike, he was.
Completely understood, but I'm just saying, I want to play an unbiased standpoint here. So before we call them simply talkers, there is some combat. There is some combat experience.
They've seen Logan bounce back from ridicule before, but Tristan isn't a YouTuber looking for an out. He's a seasoned fighter with something to prove, and that's a dynamic Logan hasn't faced yet. While Tristan and Logan's battle simmers, the real firestorm is brewing between Jake Paul and Andrew Tate. Jake, now firmly established in the world of celebrity boxing, has built his career on carefully orchestrated fights. With a record of 7-1, Jake has secured high primo wins over former MMA champions Tyron Woodley and Anderson Silva. But Andrew Tate, never one to hold back, has accused Jake of staging these bouts. In late 2022, Andrew publicly called out Jake, branding his matches as WWE-level stunts designed to boost his image. He didn't mince words, mocking Jake's victories as hollow and challenging him to prove himself in a real fight, one where there's no script, no predetermined outcome, and no room for excuses. At first, Jake seemed reluctant to take the bait. Who wouldn't be? Andrew Tate isn't just another opponent. He's a four-time kickboxing world champion with an ironclad reputation in combat sports. A fight with Andrew isn't just dangerous, it's career-threatening. But Andrew didn't let up. He turned up the heat with every interview, every social media post, relentlessly poking holes in Jake's carefully constructed persona. Tensions escalated after November 15, 2024, when Jake Paul faced off against boxing legend Mike Tyson at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. The bout, streamed live on Netflix, concluded with Jake securing a unanimous decision victory. The judges scored the fight 80-72, 79-73, and 79-73 in favor of Paul. Despite the official outcome, the fight immediately sparked controversy. Fans and critics alike accused the match of being fixed, citing the significant age difference. Tyson was 58 while Paul was 27, and the perceived lack of intensity during the bout. Some spectators noted that Tyson appeared to hold back, refraining from delivering his signature power punches, which only fueled speculation about the fight's authenticity.
And become a super heavyweight because I'm genetically gifted, or he has to pass a drugs test. So if he wants to fight for real and he'll keep pissing in the cup and he'll stop really lay off the steroids, then I'll smash him.
Maybe I would take the opportunity to platform him just for one night. Just for one night.
That's why Andrew's approach to this fight has been ruthless. He's repeatedly stated that Jake needs to step into a real fight where there's no script and no margin for error. For Jake, this isn't just another notch on his belt. It's a referendum on his entire boxing career. A loss here wouldn't just be a setback. It would dismantle everything he's worked so hard to build.
4 years ago. So it's not your option to give me my fights.
I think I'm better than you. And I think Nate chose you for a reason. And I think everyone knows that.
What do you mean?
Even in
But what have you done to prove that you're better than me?
I don't know. Went toe-to-toe 8 rounds with the greatest boxer of all time. What do you think happens if you fight Floyd Mayweather?
I would knock him out. 100%.
Tate's image as a rising boxing star, his credibility as a fighter, and his lucrative sponsorships all hang in the balance. Jake Paul has a dedicated fan base that thrives on his antics, but Andrew Tate commands a completely different following. Tate's supporters are fiercely loyal, viewing him as a symbol of raw, unfiltered masculinity. When these two step into the ring, it won't just be a clash of fighters. It'll be a clash of ideologies. Jake's flashy, media-savvy approach goes head-to-head with Andrew's no-nonsense, old-school ethos. The stakes couldn't be higher as this fight holds the potential to shape both their futures.